Puck and the Bristleback early on, defend the towers, and even during daytime you have a Vision Hero in the Clockwork.
Well, they're already going to go for an attempt onto Solo's Clockwork. One of the hero picks that Navi stole from BetBoom. As BetBoom went for the Snapfire pick themselves. Force Major, who's been really good on the Snapfire in Division 2, and now it's really time to shine to the occasion as well. Can he pull off some good Snapfire plays in Div 1 as well? Going with the Beastmaster, at least in this lane, you're going up against the Bristle. Level 1 is an attempt-worthy play. Downside is going to be that this Bristle might hit level 2 faster than the Beast and the Snapfire do as a duo, and they would love to have level 2 before the Bristle does, because there's no Bristleback.
I'll say some Bristlebacks actually are okay with getting the Nasal Ghoul level 2. If you see that you can actually go in. Having the Clockwork on your side, it wouldn't surprise me if he decides to go for something like that. But considering that Noticed and Force Major are already getting a billion sticks up, it's not gonna be the best of moves if V-Team decides to go for it.
Also kind of curious on how much time does this Enigma want to spend in the lane this time instead of going for full-on jungle action, as the Night Stalker last time was able to just sit in the lane, kind of farm with the Gyrocopter was farming, so he didn't really feel like it was threatened at any point, so Enigma could also get his share from the jungle side. Now you have this aggressive support and an aggressive carry with the Shadow Shaman and the Huskar. So does this Enigma actually have to stay much more in the lane? I think that might just be the case. Otherwise, Lazy's just going to get driven out of here.
Yeah, the main thing for Sweden Strong is to prevent the Shadow Shaman from pulling. If you would leave the Night Stalker alone and the Shadow Shaman gets the pulls off, Lazy doesn't have a game. He doesn't have levels. He doesn't have anything. And we talked about what the play for BetBoom is in this game. I think they need to crush this Night Stalker so that he can't do absolutely anything at the like in the first 10, maybe even 15 minutes. So I think that is something that Sweden Strong needs to counter with his moves of the Enigma. And for now, he's doing a really good job not allowing pulls and just preventing Soneko from being a nuisance creeps in the Tower of Night Stalker.
Support battle here. Almost Axis connected from Noticed onto Solo. They were both fairly low on HP there, both Clockwork and the Snapfire. No first blood spilled yet. I don't think we should get too excited about those early first bloods. They are a bit miraculous. Now I just hope the classic caster curse strikes and somebody dies somewhere, because that's usually what does happen. Not this time though.
7 minutes. 7 minutes.
7 minutes. It's like, yep, 7 minutes. Don't hold your horses. There ain't nothing happening until then.
Last time around, they were pretty much off by 2 seconds, you know. So it is only natural to expect that's gonna happen this time as well. I also want to see what No One and how he's gonna be doing against Larl. Like last time around, he did amazing against the Kotl in an unfavorable matchup, and this time around he's doing quite well as well, getting a good amount of farm top lane.
Nothing special happening there at the moment, just forcing them away. What I was a bit curious about here is the interaction of Kotl Illuminate onto this Puck. So you saw the Illuminate already pass the Puck there, right? And he's dodging it with the phase shift. But because the duration of the phase shift level 1 is so short, even despite the animation of the horses already past the target, he still took the full damage of the Illuminate once he came out of the phase shift after that 1 second period.
I think when it used to be 0.75 that you couldn't dodge it, now I'm not sure. I think you probably can with the 1 second duration, but it needs to be time perfect. It's way too hard.
He didn't, so it needs to be, I guess you need to be pixel perfect with it, or at least have the second point in it to completely dodge the animation, because it feels like it's just a big moving box, kind of like the Sonic Wave on a Queen of Pain. The AoE is usually much bigger than the animation shows. Well, this one just kind of slugs behind a little bit.
We might see our first blood on bot.
Potentially, Sweden Strong will go down to the Huck, and that's going to be the Burning Spears doing the work for them. And BetBoom, 2 games in a row, first blood. Now they just need to get the rest done.
on the important lane to get it. You know, Huskar, this is a timing-based hero. He can be strong in the late game, but I don't think you want to go to that point. I think BetBoom want the game to go pretty much the similar way it did go in the previous one, up until like minute 15, and then you secure the Roche for the Husk, and he just continues pressuring Navi during the times of the night. So I think that is the idea. So it's very important that the Hawk has a good time in lane, and for now we can see that he is just doing a decent job. Good thing for Navi though is that Laze, he actually got a decent amount of last hits, and he even got a lot of levels. So level 4 in the Night Stalker, I actually expected him to suffer just a tad bit more.
Yeah, that can be the case sometimes. At least the kill that they got on the side of BetBoom was onto the Enigma, so Night Stalker was able to farm all that time while the Enigma was, you could technically say, creating space in that way. Shackles are going to connect though, and there's a Hex available as well, but the Hawk is looking for another kill here, and that is going to be a certainty. But Laze is getting some help as well from the Clockwork, and Sweden Strong will be taking down the Hawk with the help of the Eidolons. Hawk is going to be ready for that Illusory Orb to follow up, and yep, no one takes another. That's a 2-for-1 trade. Both of the safe laners from BetBoom gone, and NAVI is going to be pretty happy with that one.
Yep, they certainly will. The Huskar, the guy that needs to be doing well, he just died. This is the strength of the Enigma. The Enigma Eidolons, as you mentioned in the previous game, level 2 are so strong. I don't know, like, they do immense amounts of damage. You just can't move from the Malefice, and they rip you apart. We're seeing more and more Enigmas in pubs, so I think that BetBoom should have expected that to happen. But usually when you're playing the Huskar, you just don't expect to die that easily.
Yeah. So level 2 Eidolons without armor reduction or any armor taken into account, in one go they deal 84 damage. When you have them multiplied, you're doing 168 damage per right click. You add Malefice on top, you add Enigmas on right clicks on top, you're doing about 200 DPS, and you can really kill anybody with that. That is so strong.
Bottom lane.
Diving to this bottom lane though, and onto the Night Stalker. They're gonna go. Illuminate does connect as well. He's in tower range. They will help them out. The Hawk will get the jump on him and finish off the Night Stalker.
Just a small amount of greed coming out from Navi there. They were one creep away from level 6 on the Night Stalker. If he had all the info there, it would have been much easier to dive that one. So, you know, they just felt like it was the right moment. But BetBoom, again, they're reading the early game quite well. They did so quite beautifully in the previous match. So, you know, we can kind of expect this is their time to shine. This is the part of the game that they always do well.
Solo was scouting out this jungle. He found out the double stacks, and he wants a piece of that XP for himself. Maybe even yoink a couple last hits with the Rocket Flare, but not going to be lucky with that. Meanwhile, no one has been spotted. Sameko gets the Hex out. Shackles there as well. Do they have the damage for this puck, though? Able to dodge at least the jump from the Huskar, turning around with the coil. And no one. Very good moves here. Able to get out. Solo, though, not as lucky as Force Major. And Laurel will blow up the Clockwork in the river.
I'm always just so impressed how BetBoom is playing the early game. The wards, the positioning, the movements around the map, they all work out. The problem for their lineup in this one is that you cannot push down the tower. That is the main issue, you know. So Notice just can't be a big nuisance like he was in the previous one. But BetBoom are aware of this and they're playing around it. And finally, Lara will come to the top lane now when Notice has the roar. So VTune is gonna have to be a bit careful about this one.
Solo on the back line. Force Nature's also going to be making his way here, but the Bristleback already being targeted. E2 down to 500 HP. That Vanguard is really helping him out here, soaking up majority of those right clicks. And Force Major wants this one. Needs the cookie connection. We'll get it. But how are you going to kill this guy shooting him in the back? Solo's going to be coming in as well. And the Snapfire's about the ball, but they will get V2 in time before the Cookie Man or Cookie Lady is going to be fallen. And there we go. Navi going to be grabbing 2 out of this with the Bristol and the Clock both going down. BetBoom. 6-2.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I thought
this game 9 minutes, eh?
Yeah, this is something we didn't expect, but I I can't believe that BetBoom actually managed to break apart the top lane so early on. You know, when you see a Puck, when you see a Bristleback, you can expect that tower to be there for a very long time, but they get pushed out quite fast out of it. And sure, Bristleback, he does want to hit his timing fast and farm the jungle, but you want to be a nuisance a little bit more and not allow the Beastmaster to overtake the jungle that early on. But Larl, twice in a row, like 2 games in a row, he's making the same move, and there was just no response from NAVI. BetBoom were too fast.
Top tower has fallen.
The mobility is definitely their tool in this game, just like it was in the last one. They want to keep NAVI on their toes the whole time and just keep that pressure. They weren't able to find the kills they were looking for the last time. Now it definitely seems to be a different type of case. Maybe the hero picks did help out their gameplay a little bit here, because it is being, you know, it enables their gameplay a lot more. Huskar farming the Ancients here, building up some nice dosh.
They adjusted a little bit, for sure. The Shadow Shaman is also going to be a big factor in this game. I think Soneko might get some priority as well, you know, for the Puck hunting, potentially for the Hex break on the level 20, but we're not even sure if we're going to be getting to that point in the game. But Soneko will be a big factor, you know. Also, that is why I like this vision for BetBoom. And finally, Sweden Strong will go into the jungle and deward everything with only 1 ward remaining. That is going to expire fairly soon. So, you know, NAVI understands they have to have full control of the bottom part of the jungle, considering that the top lane is going to be controlled by the Hawks from the Beastmaster.
NAVI is defending this mid tier 1 tower with 3 heroes, but the Glyph is forced out. The Serpent Ward's placed down on the ground. There's still a catapult on the front line. They have the Tornado. They have the Beastmaster, but the attack speed aura. These wards are going to get cleared out, and this tower will stay alive for a little bit longer. No one continues to dodge these Illuminates with his phase shift. That tower is going to get denied afterwards, but they can still keep it up. I don't want to sack that tower or give it away right at the moment. Still useful to teleporting to. They're just going to deny it. Alright, what the hell?
You can see the clear difference from BetBoom and how they're reading the map this time around. They know playing against the Puck, you cannot just go and force the top tier 2, what they were doing in the previous game, because you're going to die every single time. So they're just trying to pressure other things around the map. That's why the Shadow Shaman comes in handy, because you can actually just walk up to the mid lane tower and bring it down. So beautifully done by them.
Pick up solo here. See if they can actually grab him here. Cookie into the Hex, and the Shackles are going to be ready. A very tanky Clockwork. He's still got Hookshot as well. Nowhere to go. Larl brings in the extra damage. But yeah, BetBoom seems to be finding kills everywhere, plus farm. It's not just killing heroes and keeping net worth tied. They're getting a lot out of this.
This is really good for BetBoom, because you can see the Hawk is immediately going for a BKB. He understands this time around just how important the Roche is. With the Gyro, you're uncertain, right? If the Roche is really something that you need. With the Huskar, you know that it is your way to win the game. There's no doubt about it. It's pretty much like a TA. The Roche has to die for you, the first one, the second one as well. So he's going for a BKB, and with BetBoom already taking down the top tier 1 and the tier 1 in the mid lane, their path to the Roche is quite open.
At the moment, BetBoom just kind of playing it chill for the time being. Hawk is making progress towards his BKB. Not too far off it anymore. Just needs another 1600 and that will be ready for him. So we're talking about 3, 4, 5 minutes of more farming, and BetBoom is going to hit a very critical mass timer for them. But they are hunting at the top lane, and they would like to grab a Beastmaster. Clockwork is here with the vision. Ward placed down. They see the Beast exactly where he is. Hookshot on the point. Dark Ascension used as well to cover it up. That will be NAVI finding a third.
Finally, they get the Beastmaster away from the top lane. The problem is always that your lane is going to be pushing in. So they went for this play. They wouldn't do it unless the nighttime, the real night, was coming in soon, because it would, if they would do it like a minute earlier, it would allow BetBoom to do whatever they want and push out the top lane even further. Now you only have a little bit of time left to actually make a play, and NAVI will probably do good reading that.
14 minutes have been played. NAVI Playing on their side of the map, BetBoom. Oh, interesting play there with the Wildwing Ripper's Hurricane, pushing the Clockwork out of his cogs. So instead of putting down zoning cogs, it is the Ripper. Moves him out of his own security, and that will lead BetBoom straight into the Roche Pit. Let's see if NAVI has anything to do against this attempt from Roshan, because last time they were heavy contesting BetBoom in this area. This time it doesn't look like it's not even close to the same situation because there's a Huskar.
Yeah, you have to ignore it. I thought that the timing was gonna be okay, that the nighttime was gonna come in time for NAVI to be able to fight, but nope. BetBoom, they find the perfect target. The Clockwork is the one that you're afraid the most, just with a beautiful play there from the Wildwing Ripper from Noticed. So everything working out for them, and that's a Aegis before the BKB. Now the Hawk, once he gets the BKB, can definitely start applying pressure to tier 2s, and that is what is important with Huskar and of course the Beastmaster lineups.
NAVI just trying to play the bottom half of the map at the moment. Maybe look for a tier 2 trade by getting this lane pushed in. VTune, he's quite not too far off of his Aghanims to be honest, but he would really want to have that BKB, because even if he has a Vanguard, that damage dealt by the kotl is still scary. Top tier 2 taking damage from the wards as well. This is completely undefended, but they're looking at mid, and like, with hookshot onto Laurel. They've got the kotl, the big value target is here. He will blinding light them away for the time being, silencing the Clockwork as well. And the coil miss. How does the coil miss? I don't know, but Laurel is still going to go down anyway, and Clockwork gets killed as the reinforcements have arrived just a little bit too late to save their big core.
Yeah, he goes down, but ultimately, in terms of objectives, BetBoom got exactly what they wanted. They pushed out the top lane, and they can take away the bottom part of the map. Considering that the creeps are pushing in, NAVI has to respond. So this is a very easy move from them.
Roar on Lays. Here we go. This is what Fear was hoping, and he's gonna get it. Roar into the Mortimer's Kisses. The combo's gonna be there. 90-second cooldown on top of the 120, but that's a big priority target. Killing the Night Stalker is always a good go for BetBoom.
Yeah, for sure. And we can see, you know, Snapfire, finally we see those Mortimer's Kisses, but this hero hasn't lost. If is it 8 games now in a row in the Division 1? So
I believe it was 7, and you're exactly correct about that. 100% win rate, hasn't been banned a single time. So what do you think about that? Is that an accurate statistic? Well, the Hawk tries to get people get solo unable to hookshot away. Is Snapfire 100% win rate hero, Harry?
Yeah, you know, math doesn't lie. I've learned that with you and during our casting. You know, there's if it has 100% win rate now, it's definitely gonna have it's gonna win every single game. And we're seeing in this one, it's looking good for BetBoom. We're seeing a bit of a reverse roles. BetBoom in the previous game, they had 4 kills for the majority of the game, getting that Snapfire kill once the enemies were diving their base. So you know, last game NAVI, they didn't need the Sweden strong Enigma to get any big black holes. Now by how the game is going, they're gonna be needing to do so. And now they see VTune on ward. He just got his axe. This is a timing when you want to fight, but he's gonna be absolutely destroyed.
And walking right into them. The cookie stun's gonna be there. The instant life break, and Bristleback's shell has been completely broken here. BetBoom, they are killing the big carry off of NAVI and looking for more. The wards don't quite land on the spot, but still the Night Stalker reveals inside the tree line. And that will be a second kill for BetBoom. Happy to take these 2 easy pickings for themselves and increase that lead to 4K, and maybe even finish off the bottom tier 1 tower for themselves as they're here.
Dire's bottom tower.
Obviously, when you're a vampire, the solar bind does even more. This game around, not being able to actually execute things that your heroes are good at is gonna hurt you in the long run. So BetBoom right now in just a very, very dominant spot. And once the Huskar gets the axe, that's actually the perfect counter to the Bristleback, because you taunt him and he will face you.
Yeah. While we had a moment's pause there, I had time to look up some more numbers. You actually want to hear something on my mind, because there are 2 players in this game currently during this series who have not died for the last 58 minutes. That's the 40 minutes from game number 1, following up into this one. They are Force Major and no one. They have not died since the start of this series. That is prone to change very soon, though.
Dire's bottom tower is
Two
under
showing up
attack.
in
Didn't
mid.
die a single time on the Mirana.
Nope. Perfect game. He was one of the 4 who didn't die in game number 1. Bristleback getting caught. Saneko heads into that as they got the follow-up. Mortimer's kisses. The mortars flying in and burning down the Bristleback once again. They have found this V-Tune Bristleback a mere mortal in their eyes. BetBoom find another kill for themselves. And look at this TP to the top lane. They're sitting themselves a gank onto this Night Stalker or anybody who shows in this lane, and they're ready to go again. But can they actually kill this guy? Because that's a very hard target to kill anyway. And that is the Aegis also running out onto Huck. So the rest of BetBoom should just get out of that mid lane.
Saw them, a slight mistake coming out from Saneko there. You know, the Night Stalker vision, you sometimes aren't really sure just how far he can see, but Saneko, he got a little bit too close, so boom, they're not gonna let go. This team is known for crushing the early game, the early mid game, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're not allowing NAVI to play their draft at all.
First 20 minutes also down. NAVI having to play the defenders for the time being. BetBoom with very good map control for themselves and want to keep on pushing the advantage. Laurel is getting blocked by the melee creep wave. Wasn't able to get in time to the Enigma, but no TP cancel on this hero. Not quite yet. What's the kotl gonna buy? If you look at current gold, he's holding on to like 2.3k gold. Does he go Hex? Does he go something else?
I would still be okay with the BKB because you're winning the game. You don't want to die and kind of throw away your lead. So I would like to see it. But yeah, the Hex, if he's going for an aggressive item, I think the Hex makes sense. Going for Dagons and the E-Blades, I think he should stay away from that. Maybe he feels too confident and go for it. So either Hex or a BKB. I think those are going to be the two choices of Laurel right now.
I kind of like the interaction of the E-Blade combined with the Life Break.
Dire's middle
But I
tower
guess
has fallen.
it's not the tool that they want necessarily. Can still bop to build it though. If Laurel feels like he needs to deal a bit of extra damage. He has been a part of the 9 kills out of the 10. Looking at Force Major, the Snapfire 406. As said, hasn't died since the start of this series. Start of their tournament even. This is the first series for BetBoom. In Division 1. Continue to keep that clean sheet.
When we look at Navi's lineup in this scenario, they are lacking damage. This is a problem for them. You know, if the puck is getting few kills early on, then with the Witchblade you can kill these supports, no issue. The Night Stalker can just run into the Shadow Shaman, just rip him apart. Same can be true for the Snapfire. But when you're in this kind of a position where you can't go through the Huskar, he's gonna destroy you if you try to go for his supports. Then you look at Navi's lineup as being unable to kill anyone, and this puts you in a situation where you don't know what to do. You kind of want to split push, but your lineup isn't the best. So I think right now what Navi are doing is farming BKBs on the Bristol and the Night Stalker, and then you go for a fight. Without those items, I don't think you even attempt to do anything unless there is like a massive dive from BetBoom.
Oh, this is actually great. They've brought the Hill Troll Berserker with the break to use onto the Bristleback so he doesn't get his passive to work for 3 seconds during the team fight. That is actually genius. They can just get it to work. All that creep needs to do is hit once onto the Bristleback. They're going to get the jump onto the Shadow Shaman, though, and hunting to King kotl as well. Sweet and Strong does not have himself that Blink Dagger to go for the Blink Black Hole on one target, but they will take down lanes as they lose Saneko. Sweet and Strong is still there in the area, and they are hunting down Solo at the same. His Glimmer Cape does run out. Noticed, gets the slows out, and this Clockwork is done for. That's going to be another one for BetBoom, making it a 2-for-1 trade going in their way.
What's the... I'm trying to find the play for Navi because I think this is as good as it gets. You die away from an objective. I think that is the best thing that you can do just to provide some time for the Bristleback in the farm. The problem I have with this is that the Night Stalker died, and his BKB is actually going to be a big thing in these team fights as well. Maybe Navi, looking at this game, they're thinking Sweet and Strong, it's on you. So they are kind of emphasizing him more as a core and the Night Stalker more as a vision hero.
Could potentially be that way, yeah. Just kind of want to keep Lays as giving information for the team. Enigma now finished that Blink Dagger, so Sweet and Strong is able to actually initiate and not just hang around in the fight and drop the Wraith Pact and look for a Malefice on one target, but is now capable of contributing to these fights for Navi. The thing is with BetBoom, you've got so many tools against them. Like, you have the roars, you have the Shaman with his blink, the shackles, the blink hex even. You have the burning Mortimer's kisses until Enigma gets a BKB. You basically just die channeling the black hole. Like, you either get cancelled or you get killed.
It's a tough spot for Navi, no doubt about it. When 24 minutes into the game, you're 8k goal behind. But mind you, this is something that could have happened in the previous game as well. The problem is now for Navi, one fight around the Roche Pit is not going to turn things around because the difference is already too big, and you're probably not going to get that big of a team fight. So again, they're caught.
It is going to be the Clockwork dying, but Roshan will spawn. So Laurel will give the information for the team as Solo is dead. That they can actually just go straight from Roshan here, and he goes instantly into the Roche Pit with the Huskar. And he has that Aghanims for himself, so we're talking taunting, life-breaking, Huskarin, Morbin dude inside the Roche Pit, this guy. What, is there anything the Hawk can't do? I mean, the panel is asking to have faith in BetBoom. I mean, I have a lot of faith in this team, but right now, is there anything that the Hawk cannot do?
I mean, he stuns you, he does 1 billion damage, he has BKB, so he's a tank in front as well. Nope, he pretty much ticks all the boxes. He probably cannot lock down the puck, but you have your Shadow Shaman to do that one, so you're covered even in that scenario. So right now, BetBoom, they're gonna go towards the bottom lane, and Navi, they already need to start discussing, do we leave our last outer tower to fall, or do we fight there? If you don't fight for the last outer tower, you're gonna
the Night Stalker caught. I don't think you're gonna be defending the tower if you're losing your big offlaner here. Trying to TP out, but instantly cancel that. They're teleporting outpost. Look at the outpost TPs. They're like, Navi's gonna be like, this is what we've seen from BetBoom do from time to time again. The quick reaction moves, but they're just not gonna be there in time. Very good read, very good call for them. Just a bit too late.
It was actually a really fast move coming out from BetBoom. I thought that Navi was gonna get caught off guard, but BetBoom should have left at least one hero on the bottom lane to show on the creeps. I think that is the thing that tipped Navi off, allowed him to get back. If you would leave like a kotl, he has the boots of travel, he can help you if there's a turnaround fight anyways. But yeah, you know, it was probably called mass TP stops, and understandable it's that every single one of them is going to be coming over. But the idea still remains the same. The last outer tower is something that you want to take, and you take away any chance for Navi to set up for a fight. Then this Enigma, it's just going to be almost impossible for him to get a good black hole off.
Here. Very big risk here. The Hawk just needs one good jump to be able to catch them, and there we go. The bird flies in onto the Clockwork, and the taunt comes flying through. Huskar able to grab the Clockwork, and that Glimmer Cape is going to run its course. There's a TP out, at least from the Enigma, able to get out of the vicinity, but the Hawk is still hunting Solo in the trees. Knows exactly where the lad's gonna be, and here comes Force Major as well, but the dust does connect to the hook shot to safety, but then you have this Beastmaster on the other side. Oh, the Mortimer's kisses burning this Clockwork. Metal melts at some point.
You know, I still like that Navi are keeping the bottom lane somewhat alive with the outpush of the lanes. So the longer you are keeping the tower alive, the longer the Aegis, or the least amount of time on the Aegis will remain. So you're actually able to hunt the Huskar. The downside of the Huskar as a hero.
Chicken face with the guy next to you with a lot of feathers, and you got this bird with even more feathers. Have these anime run lines about to dive in. There we go, jumping straight to the Night Stalker, already down to half HP, and Laurel will take this one with joy. The wards, well, maybe a bit too much, but someone might say overkill, but a kill is a kill.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Definitely
There's no overkill without over and kill.
Radiant are scanning.
So the timing left on the Aegis is 2 minutes. Well, I was saying, you know, Huskar, Morphling, these kind of heroes, just 1 second of you not paying attention, of you making a slight mistake, can cost you. You can die. That is the downside of these heroes. That's why you need experts on them to actually make something happen. I know the Hawk has 1 billion Huskar games, so he should know what he's doing, but you're still playing against the black hole, so that is something that you have to take into consideration. That's why Navi, they're doing their best. They're they're probably not going to defend the tier 2 in the bottom lane, but they're doing their best to delay the push with the split pushes so that they can fight once the Huskar doesn't have the Aegis.
When are we going to see a big black hole from Sweden Strong?
Dire's bottom tower.
I don't think he will get to use it because the worst thing, me also as an Enigma player, is playing against the Beastmaster because those birds are just completely ignoring black hole. So they might be on the left, they might be on the right, they have massive cast range. And you're just going to get hit by a suicidal bird and your black hole is gone with it if you don't have your BKB. I'd already gone through all these. Huskar can even life break to basically taunt you and break the black hole. There's the instant Hex Shaman. You might get hit by a Snapfire throwing a cookie into outer space, and that will still cancel the black hole.
I mean, I understand Sweden Strong. He won the last game without pretty much using the black hole. He used it towards the end, but that one didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. So he's like, I want to repeat the same thing I did in the last game, and that's not using my ulti to win this one. I doubt though it's gonna be working out, considering that this time around BetBoom, they that moment where it was dangerous for them going into the Roche pit. You know, NAVI this time around didn't have a response for it. So it's no more dangerous moments, at least not that dangerous for the side of BetBoom. Even if they would lose a fight right now, it's not gonna be as big of a hit as it was last.
But this is gonna be pretty big. Both teams are actually smoked up. The scan from Dire does connect onto BetBoom, and now we're gonna be fighting on the river. They're gonna jump straight on top of this Bristol back. The black hole's gonna be there as well. Sweden Strong is gonna go down to E2 coming in, and Soneko will come with the buyback as well. Nice Stalker now disengaging solo. He's already used his hook shot, and now Force Major making sure that this Clockwork is gonna be isolated from the fight, and they will get themselves a third kill. And all they needed to do, just buy back with this Shadow Shaman back into the fight and continue to go straight towards the high ground. And NAVI, they're in a tough spot. They have no ultis to fight them back.
The second that Vitun didn't pop the BKB before the Hawk jumped him is the second that fight is over. The Mortimer Skisses were gonna kill him anyways during the duration of the black hole, and we saw a solid black hole there, but with the Bristleback dying, you have no output of damage. So we kind of see the similar thing that happened to BetBoom last time around with their carry, just not being able to do anything. This time around, it's Vitun that is gonna be feeling like he can't do a single thing.
Yeah, it does feel like it, and BetBoom are pretty confident with the situation because now they're slowly understanding how this game is going forward and how NAVI plays this lineup and how fearsome they also are. But it seems like they're also fearing BetBoom in many ways. So that being a big factor contributing to the side of BetBoom, able to get this series potentially into a tie at this current pace because NAVI right now doesn't have the tools to fight back BetBoom.
And we all underestimated BetBoom, you know. That last game was so long, and we forgot just how dominant they were for the first 15 minutes. And now they do the exact same thing, minus a bit of a mistake there around the Roche pit. And NAVI just don't get to play the game. They just couldn't do anything in this one. The only thing they did was try to massacre the creeps and split push, and that was the only thing they attempted to do. They knew that they were unable to do anything. They went for that fight. With the fight going badly, I just don't see them taking this game any longer. They're probably gonna wait for one more fight, thinking, okay, let's try with the Bristleback getting the BKB out. You still want to use all of your tools before you completely give up, but they're not feeling good for sure.
And I don't think the panelists are also feeling too strong about this Clockwork either. Didn't get what they were hoping for in game number 1, and seems like game 2 is, well, still not living up to their expectations. They are a very I mean, they want results. They haven't got them so far, but BetBoom getting themselves on the board here. Wave is going to be cutting down the wave in the bottom area. However, they are still going to be losing these racks inside the base of NAVI, and they are smoking up with 3. Sweden Strong, no one solo, and here comes the TP in from Vitun as well. Bit of early poke. There's the hooks of also low, and will be catching Soneko and pushing the Shaman away, but he will be controlling the Clockwork out of the fight. Now Vitun, they've got a decent amount of damage coming out. Vitun dealing a nice amount of damage, forcing the Beastmaster away. 3-man coil coming out as well. Huskar in a bit of trouble here because the Hawk can't really do anything. Now gets the BKB off and able to turn around into the Bristleback, but the damage isn't going to be enough. He's just burning down, throwing more spears onto the Bristle, forcing him into the high ground, now fighting against solo 1 versus 4. hiding in the background and getting some backup, and now finally able to take down the Huskar. Solo is also down, and BetBoom, it looks like they're almost going to lose everybody. They even tried to force Snap the lad to the low ground, but it's going to be a Shaman getting away. It's a 4-for-1 trade on NAVI. They're not done yet.
This has to feel super bad for NAVI because, you know, you want to fight, sure, that is great, but now you understand just how different this game would be if Vitune would have gotten the BKB off. We could see what happens when he gets the BKB off. He doesn't take that much damage. He can reset, turn his back to the Huskar, and then go back in. The Vision game, you can argue, yeah, BetBoom were now on the high ground of NAVI, but NAVI have the Dark Ascension, or had the Dark Ascension the last fight, so they kind of had all the information necessary. And now, because of that slight mistake of Vitune not getting the BKB off immediately, you're down 2 Raxes, and the BetBoom's lineup, I think it has accomplished what it needed to do, but at least NAVI have shown that they still have something left in the tank. The next Roche fight could decide the game. If BetBoom win it, if NAVI win it, it's extending the time for them and giving them a chance.
That is according to the graphs, a 6% return back into the game. For NAVI, and it's actually now showing 7%. It's getting corrected all this time. That's a bit of a bounce in the economy. About 6,000-7,000 gold now gained by NAVI. So if you want to look at numbers, you can always look at numbers, but it really comes down to performance in the end. Roshan is up and has a refresher shard as well inside. So that one might just play a big role, especially those BKB timers, the potential double roars as well for the Beastmaster. And Sweet and Strong has caught the Huskar. Sweet and Strong full on Black Hole, and Huskar gets force snapped away, but still surviving. Spats out as well by the Snapfire. Force Major will die and get that Huskar out for now, but still surrounded by enemies. That's 2 down. They pulled the pop. Speedtune now chasing down Noticed on the low ground. Sweet and Strong's going to be there to help him out, and buybacks are coming in. NAVI, they know that they are now pushing the advantage. They need to secure this Roshan for themselves. They've made BetBoom pay a heavy price, and NAVI, they will be securing Roshan for themselves. I don't think BetBoom with just Laurel and the Hawk is going to be able to do enough. They are pretty low though. Beastmaster coming in with a buyback as well. BetBoom, what can they do? Can they get there in time? Doesn't look like they will. No one's going to be blinking and aggressively keeping the Hawk at bay. And now with looking for another opening there is the Enigma, but he gets silenced up right away. He's got a refresher. He's got to pop it as well, so he could still look for a big black hole, and that is something that BetBoom has to be cautious of. So NAVI, they are smoking to disengage after they finish off Roshan. They've got the Aegis, they've got the cheese.
And the Snapfire there saving the Huskar is, I think he will pretty much save the game for BetBoom, because if the Huskar dies there, you just continue pushing forward, the tier 2s fall, and you're pretty much back in the game. You might even get the Raxes. Without the Huskar, BetBoom just doesn't have the damage to deal with the Bristleback. There's no output whatsoever. I guess you do have good high ground dot push. Still not gonna be easy, and NAVI, they want to go again. This time around, they have the Aegis, and they have the refresher shard and the Enigma, so Sweet and Strong again. This time around, Huskar should fall. You have that extra bit of damage with the new items coming out.
The Hawk at the front line once again. He did get caught and enabled the entire fight for NAVI to push the advantage. Now coming in from the low ground, Noticed on the side, getting some vision with the Berserker. Here we go, Soneko blinking in onto the Bristleback. Barnabas gets this, coming into the back line as well, trying to burn down Bristleback. They've got the Black Hole coming in, and Rody getting sucked in as well. They're going to take down Soneko, and the Hawkball's going to be going down the hook shot onto the Beastmaster. Noticed there's nowhere to go with this Beastmaster, and that's going to be 3 from NAVI once again, and that net worth, it is now slowly turning into the side of NAVI as they still hold the Aegis and the cheese. But what a black hole once again coming in from Sweet and Strong. He's been hiding this powerful weapon for quite some time, and it's paying off.
That is just showing just how vulnerable a Huskar as a carry without any saves can be. If you had an Oracle, if you had the Dazzle, you survive that black hole and you rip everybody apart. But when you don't have any saves, this is why sometimes teams are so hesitant to go for the hero. Just one black hole, there's nothing they can do. Also, I mean, really nice plays from No One twice in a row. He's just keeping the Lincoln Sphere onto the Enigma. NAVI, they know exactly how they want to fight, and now it's time to force out that buyback.
They're very nicely keeping things in control. They're forcing out the cliff as well. And Beast is still dead for 52 seconds. Is this a Huskar that they could force out? And NAVI continues to push their advantage. Midrax about to fall. Cannot get mega creeps on this run, but they can at least equalize the amount of buildings lost with these bottom racks if they're able to get them. But there's backdoor protection. This is popped and known by Laurel from a very, very far distance. Great backdoor. I'm also slowly walking onto the high ground, and B-Tune is calling the disengage for the team. So NAVI are making their way out of here.
Get out.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
No DP cancel.
The reason why I wanted NAVI to even back out a little bit earlier is Bristleback doesn't have the mana, and you have enough time left on it to actually go again, especially now with the black hole coming back off cooldown. So you want to be back up to full before you go for the next team fight, and that is why NAVI, they get themselves out. There is no reason to force it, even though Bristleback will very hardly die. You want him full HP and full mana, and now he has the Abyssal Blade. This means that it's much easier for NAVI to just run in. You now have 3 heroes that are comfortable just running into the Huskar, because Bristleback pops BKB, pops the Abyssal Blade, and you know the Huskar isn't really that much of a problem any longer.
For the first time in this game, NAVI is in a net worth lead over BetBoom. As we're 38 minutes into this one, the first game was over in 40. This one is getting close to that timer as well. NAVI are able to get the jump early onto BetBoom. They've had success in 2 fights in a row. It's the 3rd time gonna be the charm. Either one of these. BetBoom very cautious about Sweden Strong. He's constantly covered up by the Lincoln Sphere spell block. Keeping that bubble on top of him. There's no one.
If you don't catch the Enigma, you don't fight. There is no other way around it. You can see that Noticed is trying to go for a refresher. It is a good way to go, given that the puck is always keeping the Lincolns onto the Enigma, but you need so much time to get it. And we have seen that BetBoom haven't been able to hit any creeps for the past 5 minutes, ever since they lost that team fight where they tried to go for the game end push on the top lane. They got a little bit ahead of themselves. Maybe that fight in the mid lane where NAVI didn't get the BKB on the Bristleback actually helped them in this game. You know, you lost 2 lanes of racks, but BetBoom got ahead of themselves, thinking that they were unkillable, and then you killed them in the worst possible scenario when the Roche is respawning. That is, that could be a big factor in this game as well. You know, still not getting a BKB and dying in a fight. You're never gonna look at that as something that you want to happen.
There's an arcane rune waiting in the river as well for either team to pick up, and I wonder if they would force a fight around that area. Both teams would love to have it. I've seen fights break out for smaller things. Well, if you don't take it, you deny it. Here we go. Laurel is going to be walking straight into B-Tune. TP is coming in as well. Doesn't quite kill the Eidolon that was bringing in no one. Does get the arcane, but no fight.
Boom still have that Rax advantage on the bottom lane. You need to be using that. You can see that they got the shard and the Keeper of the Light, so he wants to be recalling people. The strength of BetBoom in this game came from them catching the side of NAVI, and at some point they just felt like they were super strong. They were 16k ahead, to be honest, so they were. But you can see that NAVI's teamfight is just way too powerful. When in that kind of a deficit with an early game lineup of BetBoom, you can actually win a fight. So BetBoom, they need to go back to the roots, the things that they were doing in this game, and just split push and catch people off guard. That is the play to make for sure. But for now, they just feel too scared to let go of their triangle, because if they would move, NAVI would probably walk in there immediately with a smoke.
Roshan min timer is also 1 minute and 15 seconds. Both teams are probably waiting for Roche to be up and fight for that. BetBoom staying on their side of the map. It has been since the last team fight they've crossed this river. They still don't have the courage to do so. Laurel might drop by quickly, but instantly backs away. So Neko is now establishing vision. There is a dire ward showing Dahak on the edge of the triangle. That rocket flare is going to show exactly where Navi is currently. BetBoom probably knows that by now. They're holding onto that top jungle position. They have the vision advantage from Navi. They don't have to move. They can just wait, but they are going to smoke up and look for BetBoom with that ward on the back line. They see a lot on the high ground. They're going to look for Snako. Snako dropping very low, and there's the black hole coming into the back line. They're going to be catching the Hawk with it, and the Hawk is very close to dying, but the link is the roar's not going to be enough to actually catch the bristle back, and the Hawk is still getting punished. Doesn't get his satanic off. He gets nothing out, and that's going to be the bristle. The Huskar taken down by the bristleback, and they're finishing off the rest of BetBoom. Notice taken down, and Kotl hunted as well. And Navi, they're showing you why this Division 1 team has been looking so unstoppable for quite some time. And BetBoom, they might have had their moments, but Navi is looking to close things in the end. Such decisive team fights again. And another black hole on the Hawk. The Hawk gets nothing done in that fight.
Yeah, Navi, as soon as they saw just how badly they were losing early game, they started itemizing just to be able to bring down the Huskar. The Lincoln Sphere, the Blink BKB on the Enigma, that was what you were looking for to make this game go your way now. Look at his damage here.
B2 is doing 840-ish damage at the moment, and he's unstoppable right now. Glyph has been forced out. He's still going to cheese as well, so he's plenty of mana to work around with. And Glyph is going to run his course. B2 just looking for the opening. When do we go back? A 3-man smoke from BetBoom. They've got the roar up on the Beastmaster, but it has to be near perfect. Birds are flying in, gonna stun the bristleback once again. Hook shot from the side. It's gonna be Solo coming in. Sweet and strong. BK being up and keeping them, lifting his arms in the air. The Midnight Pulse is ticking, doing a lot of damage. Beastmaster about to drop, and he's very low, but the Ancient will go